Hi everyone, Sarah here, your English coach, helping you to develop the communication skills, confidence and fluency you need to speak freely at work so you can thrive in your career in the UK. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any tips on how to develop your English skills. Let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about something that many of my coaching clients worry about, and that's how to communicate clearly. Clients tell me, Sarah, it's my accent, people don't understand me because of my accent. Well, the truth is, having a perfect British accent, whatever that is, isn't needed. The key is to focus on clear pronunciation. If you've ever felt self-conscious about your accent or worried that your colleagues or clients won't understand you because of the way that you speak English, then this is the video for you. I'm going to share 4 areas to work on to ensure your pronunciation is clear, which will give you more confidence going into any interaction and ensure that your clients and colleagues understand you. Before we even talk about pronunciation tips, key number 1 is to slow down. There seems to be this myth that if you speak very quickly, you seem more fluent. But in actual fact, when you speak very quickly, it's really difficult to understand you. So before you do anything else, slow down and see if this helps you to communicate your message more clearly. But also leave pauses between sentences and key points. Try not to and fill those pauses. Those pauses actually give your listener time to process what you said, so your communications will be a lot clearer. Some people may not be familiar with your accent, and it doesn't mean you have to change everything about it. But when you slow down, it gives your listener time to tune into your accent and get used to listening to it. A great tip here is to record yourself. Record yourself introducing yourself or talking about a certain topic, and really pay attention to slowing down, pausing more, and listen back. Would you understand you? If you wouldn't, then you might need to slow down. The second area to work on is the rhythm of your speech. Now, English is a stress time language, which means that we stress or we emphasize content words like nouns, verbs, adjectives. And we reduce, and it sounds like we swallow, grammar words like prepositions and articles and auxiliary verbs, like in, the, for example. So in English, if I introduce myself, I don't say, my name is Sarah and I'm an English coach. I say, my name is Sarah and I'm an English coach. My name is Sarah and I'm an English coach. I stress the main important content words and everything else is swallowed. In some languages, the emphasis is the same on every syllable. If you apply that rhythm to English, it can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. People who speak stress time languages process their meaning through the stressed syllable. So we listen for the stressed word. Now, let me give you an example, a real life example. A student once told me he was looking for houses, a place to live in the UK, and he was telling me about what he did at the weekend. And he said, I went in to view the property. The first thing I heard was interview. Because he stressed the word in, it sounded like the word interview. What he was saying was, I went in to view the property. So he went into the house to view it. And of course, with context and speaking, it became clear, but you can see how my brain processed it. My tip for this is to first of all become more aware of this rhythm. When you're watching TED Talks or interviews, even this video now, notice which words I stress. It's usually the content words. You can also use the shadowing technique. Imagine you found a TED Talk you really like. As they are speaking, repeat what they say and practice that rhythm. Area number 3, and probably more important than the sounds actually, is word stress. Now, in English words, usually one syllable or one part of the word is stressed, it's emphasized, it's a little bit longer, it's a little bit louder, it's a little bit higher in pitch. So we really hear that stressed syllable. And the other syllable is more swallowed. Let's take the word pencil. We don't say pencil. Can I have a pencil, please? We say, can I have a pencil? Pen, you can tell my eyebrows go up. Pen is the stressed syllable. Sul is the unstressed syllable. Now, it's important to get this right. If you stress the wrong syllable, remember, many of your colleagues will be processing through the stress. If you stress the wrong syllable, it can sound like a different word. One I've heard many times is the word vegetable. Vegetable. Now, if you say vegetable, in a sentence, it can sound like you want to buy some tables. Okay, so remember, if you're going to the supermarket and you want some vegetables, stress the first syllable. You don't want to buy any tables. How can we improve this? First, get used to listening for stress. When you can recognize this is going to help you a lot more. If you're unsure of words that you use every day, check them in the dictionary. Most online dictionaries, you can click a button and hear the words. Another tip as well is if you're saying a word and the person you're talking to doesn't understand, try shifting the stress. For example, if you say information, try to shift the stress. Information. Information. And hopefully that will solve your problem. And area number 4 is the area that most pronunciation courses focus on, making sure the sounds of English are clear and sound different from each other. So the important thing first is to be aware of what the different sounds of English are, and in particular, the vowel sounds. Some vowel sounds that can be difficult are ones that don't exist in your first language. For example, the E sound in English is long, but in many languages it's short. E. It's so important that you can differentiate between those sounds so it doesn't lead to misunderstandings. I have my own sound chart. I will put the link to it in the description. It shows you what all the sounds of English are, or standard British English. It gives you an example word that contains that sound. It also gives you the IPA symbol, which you would see in the dictionary as well. Just being familiar with what these sounds are, and also what are the tricky sounds? What are the ones that you're not sure how to pronounce or you often mix up? They're the ones that you really need to practice and focus on. You don't need to say every sound exactly like me or a person from London or any other teacher or famous person. You just need to make sure they sound different from each other and there's clarity. Most people that I work with, there's only maybe 4, 5, possibly 6 sounds that they really need to work on. Will make their pronunciation a lot clearer. And remember, this is not about training you to speak with a British accent. In my opinion, spending all that time to try to imitate a British accent could be better spent on how to actually communicate more effectively and build relationships with your colleagues. And also embrace your accent. Your accent is part of who you are, it's part of your identity, and often it's a talking point. As long as you're communicating clearly, that's the most important thing. If you think your colleagues are struggling to understand you, first focus on slowing down, pausing more. 2, over time, focus on the rhythm, aiming for those content words and really emphasizing them. 3, make sure you get the stress right in words and get more familiar with what the sounds of English actually are. Identify the ones that you struggle with and really focus on those. Please share with me in the comments, have you ever felt self-conscious about your accent or worried that people won't understand you because of your accent? Let me know in the comments. And remember, embrace your accent, focus on clear pronunciation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.